Mudras and body gestures do not automatically equate to being devilish, demonic, or evil. These are just things that we do either intentionally or even unintentionally. So we do these things on a day-to-day basis without even realizing it. Even when it comes to going to court or even going to school and pledging allegiance, these are all mudras and body gestures that we do to convey messages and in response to our emotions. Everything that we do, whether it's moving our limbs or just moving our hands, we are acting out our emotions when using these mudras or even just gesturing our bodies. When you see people doing this means warding off evil. People do this as warding off evil. Some people do it because they think it looks cool and it's like a rock and roll type of thing. Some people do this, meaning I love you. And also, when you think about mudras, think about the people that are not able to verbally communicate. They're using sign language. So you can think of mudras as a language. Mudras are a language. Matter of fact, like I just said, people use these so-called mudras to communicate. They communicate with their hands. So whether it's this, or any other mudra, they are communicating their expressions. People don't realize that people use mudras when they are in court of law. Because when you go to court, sometimes people have their right arm upright and place their left hand on a Bible or over an affirmation. They're making an affirmation or a statement. You do this, especially in the court of law, you are showing a sign of good faith. You have good intentions. You are of a pure heart. You're showing that you're not a threat to yourself or to others. Another example of a mudra that a lot of people don't realize that they do, especially when they come into contact with law enforcement, is this. People raise their hands, showing them that they are not a threat to an officer, right? They throw up their hands. Now, this is the sign of Apophis. This is a gesture actually from the Thelema religion, the sign of LBX. So this is Apophis. You raise your hand like this, or even it's something like this, or out like here. But when you have your arms up like this is the sign of Apophis. Apophis is known as this great serpent deity. It represents thunder, earthquakes, was associated with thunder, earthquakes, the dead, all things that allude to the underworld. Darkness. It represents darkness. And it is the opponent to the sun god Ra. So when you think about raising your hands up like this, when people raise their hands up, and many of us know, they all, not all, I'm saying like most of the time, they still get shot. They still get shot at, or they still, you know what I'm saying? They still come into contact with law enforcement, even though they got their hands raised up. Sometimes they be seen as a threat and they get shot. But this, like I said, Apophis is associated with death, thunder, earthquakes, darkness, and storms. So all things related to chaos, chaotic energy. This is the sign of Apophis. And also the sign of invoking. So if you are invoking a particular energy, such as calling on a specific deity or calling on a specific spirit, this is the sign for invoking as well. I forget what this mudra is called when you have your hand placed on the Bible, but also people that are going into law, such as judges and what may have you, oftentimes when they get sworn in, they have their right hand placed upwards and their left hand on the Bible to be sworn in under oath. Act of good faith. Another one is the sign of Osiris. Now, some people see this when it comes to burying your relatives. So when people are laid in the casket, they have their hands over their chest. They cross their hands over their chest, across their arms over their chest. This is the sign of Osiris. Means rebirth, renewal, resurrection. So resurrected from the dead. So this has to do with the dead spirits, the underworld, chaos, underworld. And comes chaos, comes new creation, new life. And in order for things to change, in order to go to something new, you must dead it off in order to create new ways, new things of living, new life. When we die physically, when our physical avatars die, we live on. So when you see people laid in the casket with their arms crossed, this represents rebirth. This represents resurrection. All of these different things, mudras and body gestures, they all have some type of symbolism and meaning and meaningful message that is correlating with this mudra or gesture that is being done. Like I said, mudras and body gestures are not evil. It is always a message behind it. There's always a message behind these particular mudras and gestures that we convey through our emotions. So yeah, if you want to see more conscious content from my channel, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss out. And like always, this channel is all about raising our level of vibrations and our consciousness so that we can help manipulate our own realities the way that we want them to be and not nobody else. And I'm also on Instagram and TikTok, True Ascension. You can go follow me on there as well. And I'll see you next time. Peace and abundance, peace and chaos.